Hi friends, it's chapter book time. We are going to finish Mercy Watson to the Rescue. Now, it's been a few days since I read the chapters, so let's review about what happened in the last chapters. We know that Mercy Watson is a pig. She lives with Mr. and Mrs. Watson. There they are. And what happened in the story to Mr. and Mrs. Watson and Mercy? What happened to their bed? You're right, you're good remembering. The bed creaked and moaned, and then look, it fell partly into the floorboards. So the floor is breaking. And Mercy wasn't going to help them. What did she go do instead? She wanted to eat buttery toast. So she couldn't find any toast at her house. So she went next door to the Lincoln sisters. And what did she do? She tapped on their window. Here's what they look like. She tapped on their window, and Eugenia Lincoln doesn't like pigs and thinks they should stay outside. And then baby Lincoln likes pigs. Where's baby Lincoln? Here's baby Lincoln. She's not really a baby. She's just the youngest sister, so they call her baby Lincoln. And then what happened? The fire truck came, and they saw Eugenia chasing around Mercy. And I thought maybe the firefighters could help Mr. and Mrs. Watson, who are stuck in the bed, falling into the floor. So the next chapter we're on is chapter 8. So that's just a little review. Before you read your other chapters, you should always kind of think in your head, what did I read last time? Because there's so much information. All right. Chapter 8. Ma'am, Lorenzo said to Baby, did you call the fire department? Oh dear, said Baby, I did not. But Eugenia may have called. Who is Eugenia? Said Ned. My sister, said Baby. Is that her? Asked Lorenzo, pointing to the one chasing the pig. Right there. That's him pointing. See the picture? Yes, said Baby. Yes, that's her. Baby and Ned and Lorenzo watched Eugenia chasing Mercy through the yard. Lorenzo cleared his throat. Exactly what emergency was that? Asked Ned. I thought I saw a monster in the bedroom window, said Baby. But it wasn't a monster. It was Mercy. Mercy, said Lorenzo. The pig? Yeah, said Baby. The pig. The pig who lives next door. Now this one has no pictures. Chapter books don't always have pictures, so you have to use your imagination and close your eyes and picture what's happening in the story. Ned said, oh, I see. Eugenia does not care for Mercy, said Baby. In her opinion, pigs belong on farms. Well, there's something to be said for that opinion, said Lorenzo. Ned nodded. Help, help, shouted a voice far away. Help us, help us, help us. Did you hear that, said Ned. Somebody's in trouble. Let's go, said Lorenzo. Who do you think is yelling, help, help, help us? I think it's the Watsons, you're right. Chapter 9. Ned and Lorenzo ran toward the call for help. They went into the Watsons' house. Help! Ned and Lorenzo looked up and they saw a bed hanging out of the ceiling. They saw Mr. and Mrs. Watson holding on to the bed for their dear life. Ugh. They do look nervous, and look at that bed is almost all the way through. I hope they don't fall. They could get hurt. Okay. The firefighters came in and they each pulled one of the Watsons off the bed at the same time. One grabbed Mr. Watson and one grabbed Mrs. Watson. 1, 2, 3. They pulled them off. "We are saved, we are saved," cried Mrs. Watson. "Of course we are saved, Mr. Watson," Mr. Watson said. "Mercy has alerted the fire department." Wait, did Mercy alert the fire department? Miss Eugenia did. "She's amazing," said Mrs. Watson. "She's unbelievable." "She is a porcine wonder," Mr. Watson said. Ned and Lorenzo ran upstairs. They picked Mr. and Mrs. Watson out of the bed, and the Watsons' bed loudly sighed and crashed all the way to the floor. Just in time. Look at that picture. Whew. Boom! Mr. and Watson looked at the hole that their bed used to be in. Look at, they're on one floor and the bed's on the other. "I have always believed very firmly in the fire department," said Mr. Watson. "As have I," said Mrs. Watson. "As have I." From outside the Watson house came a squeal. "Oink, oink, oink. Gotcha!" shouted Eugenia. Two-page picture. I love those. Chapter 10. Ned and Lorenzo and Mr. and Mrs. Watson all went outside to find out what that squeal was about. Eugenia was sitting on the ground. Her arms were wrapped around Mercy's neck. Her chest cheek was resting on Mercy's back. And Eugenia was breathing very loudly. Oh, jeez. Remember, we saw them running around the yard? It looks like she tackled Mercy. Look at her face. She looks tired. What about Mercy? Nope. She probably thinks she's getting a hug. "This pig," she said, "was on my property." "We'd prefer if you did not call her a pig," said Mrs. Watson. "We would like you to call her Mercy," said Mr. Watson. "After all, she did save us. She's a hero." "She's a pig," Eugenia said. Then Eugenia started to cry. "What? Oh, poor Eugenia." There, sister," said Baby. She went over and patted Eugenia on the back. Oh. Eugenia doesn't know Mercy very well. Maybe if she got to know her, they could be friends. Mercy's still smiling. I don't know if I'd want a pig next door. Let's see if there's another page. Mercy yawned. She was so tired from running around. "Well, I guess that's it," said Ned the firefighter. "Yep," said Lorenzo. "Our work here is done." "Wait," said Mrs. Watson. "It's almost time for breakfast." Mercy perked up. "Oink?" asked Mercy. "That's right, breakfast," said Mrs. Watson. She kissed the top of Mercy's head, and she looked up at the firemen and said, "Do you boys like toast?" Ugh, that's how this problem started. Like, that's Mercy. Do you think they're going to stay for toast? Chapter 11. We're almost done. Oh. In the Watsons' house, around the Watsons' kitchen table sat Eugenia, Lincoln, and Miss Baby Lincoln, and Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson, and Ned and Lorenzo, and of course, Mercy. She was at the head of the table in the seat of honor. See if they have a picture of that. Yep. And in front of her, on her favorite blue plate, was a very tall stack of hot buttered toast. A toast to Mercy, said Mr. Watson. That's a different toast. When you clink your glasses together and you say something nice about someone, that's a toast. A toast to Mercy, said Mr. Watson, holding up a glass of orange juice. A toast to our darling, our dear, said Mr. Watson. A toast to Mercy, said Baby Lincoln. This is a great picture. Look at. They're all around the table. That's a lot of toast. Toast and orange juice. Everybody looks happy, but Eugenia still doesn't think pigs should belong in the kitchen table, I bet. Look at all the bread bags in the back. Isn't that funny? That is funny. What a mess. In my opinion, said Eugenia, pigs should not be toasted. In my opinion, pigs do not belong at the kitchen table. To our hero, said Mr. Watson. Where would we be without Mercy? Yes, said Mrs. Watson. Who would have saved us? I can't imagine, said Ted. Me neither, said Lorenzo. They all clinked glasses. Mercy had another piece of toast. Did Mercy really save the Watsons, or was it the firefighters? Well, Eugenia called the fire department, so she actually saved them. But the Watsons thinks it was all Mercy. There they are. They're all toasting. That's another good picture. Well, Eugenia, still not happy. All right, chapter 12. Outside the Watsons' house, the sun was rising. First the sun was red, then it was orange, and it rose higher and higher and higher. Inside the Watsons' house, Mercy was lying on the couch. She was getting ready to take a nap. There she is. She's sleeping. Bright, bright is the morning sun, sang Mr. and Mrs. Watson. But brighter, brighter is our porcine wonder. Or is it porcine? Wonder. Mercy smiled. She closed her eyes, and she was half asleep before Mr. and Mrs. Watson even finished the song. Aww. The end. Now, the back of the book, they have a little description about the author and the illustrator. And here's some more of the Percy Watson books if you'd like to find them. Now, this chapter book wasn't too long because the chapters, the writing in the book was pretty big. So even though it was 12 chapters, there was only a few words on each page, so it didn't take me too long to read them. So this is one kind of chapter book, and then I'm going to read another chapter book starting this week. But each chapter book will be a little different. Different characters in the book, what the book is about, and then if they have lots of pictures, like Mercy Watson actually had a lot of pictures, or some books have hardly any. But I'm glad you listened to this, my friends. Maybe I'll find another Mercy Watson book to read. Let's see the chapters. I'll tell you what they are. Mercy Watson goes for a ride. Mercy Watson fights crime. Mercy Watson, princess in disguise. Mercy Watson thinks like a pig. Well, she is a pig. And Mercy Watson, something wonky this way comes. I'm gonna have to get another one of her books. But for all my friends who listened, thank you. That was something new, and I think you like it. So if you maybe want to send me a message on Seesaw, maybe you could suggest some books that you want Miss Jenny to read. I want them to be chapter books, but not too long. So this one's 68 pages, but it's got big printing. All right, so if you want to hear Miss Jenny read a chapter book, just send me a message on Seesaw. Okay, friends, thank you for trying something new with me. We wish you well. We wish you well. All throughout the day today, we wish you well. Bye, my friends.